Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be giving everyone a quick product unboxing video of Apple's newly unveiled iPad mini with Retina Display. About a month ago, Apple had made the big announcement that they'd be giving both their iPad and iPad mini sort of a mini facelift slash overhaul. And of course, iPad Air is the new iPad 5 equivalent that was available on November 1st, and iPad mini with Retina Display at the time when they made the announcement didn't have a set date as far as when it would actually hit market and be available for purchase. So today is November 14th, 2013. I got an email from Apple Canada at about 4:30 in the morning saying that iPad mini with Retina Display is available for purchase now. So here I now have before you guys is a black slash space gray iPad mini 64GB non-cellular version, as well as a white front silver-backed edition. So I just bought both of these here from a local retailer this morning. They only had maybe about 5 or 6 of them in stock. This is what the boxes look like. Pretty typical of iPad mini. I think had the same exact box. I'm not going to get into the gross details of what the differences are because I actually don't know. But here, the model number is ME278C for the black one, and the white one here is ME281C. So they're both 64GB versions. I'm just going to open one because, well, they're all exactly the same, really. So, but that's what the boxes look like. And so let's crack one of these things open. So in the usual Apple manner, the boxes, of course, and the packaging is nice and clean and simple and near flawless, I suppose. And it's really interesting that Apple actually made this announcement, well, not announcement I should say, but released the iPad mini in the time frame that they did. Black Friday is going to be coming around here on November 29th this year. You know, I think it'd be foolish on their part to not release this tablet before that. Generally speaking, these tablets do go on sale on Black Friday, and they usually knock anywhere between 30 and $50 off each of the tablets. But in any case, I couldn't wait because I actually needed another iPad for myself personally, so I decided to just go and bite the bullet and be one of the first guys on the block to have one. And I mean, these boxes fit so well together that really opening them is actually quite fun. So here we have it. This is what it looks like inside the box. In the typical Apple form, they've got everything wrapped so perfectly with not a speck of dirt on the screen from the factory. So we have our iPad here. This is what the back looks like. It doesn't look any different than the old mini, actually. It's got the thin edges. It weighs next to nothing. I think the weight on this thing is 331 grams, so it's like literally the weight of a pad of paper. It's got the usual Apple chamfered edges, improved Wi-Fi, and most importantly, it's got the improved Retina Display screen. But of course, I'm not going to power this up just yet. Let's just set this aside. We've also got our typical, little, compact form factor 10-watt Apple AC adapter. I'm assuming under here, yeah, we've got our lightning cable for charging and syncing with iTunes. Not that you need it anymore, it can be synced via Wi-Fi. And of course our little Apple instruction leaflet located in here. Now, if you guys have a cellular version of the iPad mini, it would also come with a little SIM card key. But in my case, I only have a Wi-Fi version, so it doesn't have it. So this is what the documentation looks like. iPad mini gives you a little explanation of where all the different controls are. English and French, it looks like. Warranty, some Apple stickers, as always, with all their Apple products. And so I'm not going to explain how to use an iPad. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's like using a monster-sized iPhone minus the phone. Is there anything else underneath here? No, the box is actually set inside the cardboard, so it doesn't feel like there's anything inside anyways. So there you guys have it. an Apple iPad mini with Retina Display. So let's power this up and see how this new display compares to the old mini. So, okay guys, so now that I have removed the iPad mini with Retina Display from its protective film, this is what the device looks like in its sort of bare naked form. And what I have beside it here is actually my other iPad, full-size iPad with Retina Display from 2012. It's an iPad 4, as you know, sort of most people refer it to. And the reason why I'm putting it beside the iPad mini is to give you sort of a comparative difference in terms of the footprint that the iPad mini takes up in comparison to the iPad 4. iPad 4, by the way, is no longer available. It's now been replaced or superseded by iPad Air, which sort of follows the same design cues as the iPad mini. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys how a mini fares up against the former full-size iPad. And I mean, as you can tell, the size difference is quite a bit. And what's really amazing about Apple, as how they always seem to do things, is that they've managed to pare down their Apple devices down so small without losing any of its functionality or sort of compromising the overall user experience or quality for that matter. iPad mini, for example, uses a 7.9 inch screen at 2048 by 1536 resolution, and then of course the iPad 4 or iPad with Retina Display uses a 9.7 inch screen. So the difference is only actually 1.8 inches, but you know, looking at the device footprint, just looking from this corner to this corner, we can clearly see that that's a lot more than just 1.8 inches. From a weight standpoint, as much as I love iPad 4 with the Retina Display, and I mean it's not insanely heavy, it's still about 1.4 pounds compared to the 0.73 or so pounds on the iPad mini. Now, for us Canadian folk that live in the world of metric, we're talking 331 grams here for the iPad mini. So it's super lightweight. It literally is the same size and weight of a pad of paper, if not less than a pad of paper, so I'm quite impressed with that. But anyways, this video is not necessarily to compare the old iPad against the new iPad, this old iPad versus the new iPad. It's to basically talk about the key features and differences of the iPad mini versus the iPad mini Retina Display. So I won't go over all the insane details. As far as the camera, the form factor, the audio, the Bluetooth, all of those are actually the same on the iPad mini and then and the iPad mini with Retina Display. The key differences here, guys, is the Retina Display, of course. I had mentioned that the resolution was on the old one 1024 by 768. This is 2048 by 1536, so basically double the resolution. So you can clearly see here, well, I hope you can clearly see that the text here is really fine and really crisp and crystal clear. Camera, right, we still have the same 720p FaceTime HD camera on the front. We have stereo audio. We don't have Touch ID home button like an iPhone 5S. I'm imagining Apple's saving that feature for the next iPad mini. It's got a 5 megapixel 1080p camera on the back, 2.4 max aperture, so all those things are the same. Internally is where you're going to see the differences on the iPad mini. The most notable one, of course, being that it now doesn't use Apple's A5 dual-core processor anymore. It actually employs Apple's new 64-bit A7 64-bit chip alongside with Apple's M7 Motion co-processor. And so what does that mean for everybody? Well, not a whole heck of a lot in today's world because we don't really have any 64-bit iOS device applications. But essentially, when 64-bit really becomes mainstream, that this tablet, alongside with the iPad Air, will have enough horsepower to drive tomorrow's applications with ease. Wi-Fi remains almost the same, 2.45 gigahertz support, with the exception of that it also now supports MIMO, which stands for multiple in, multiple out, or essentially channel bonding over Wi-Fi. So you can pick up multiple, I guess, downstream Wi-Fi signals to sort of give you a bigger Wi-Fi data pipe so that your sort of online experience is faster and better, assuming that you actually have a home router that can support MIMO. As far as the weight goes and the size, dimensionally the width and the height is exactly the same as the old iPad mini. with the exception of the thickness. This new iPad is actually 0.1 millimeters thicker than the former iPad mini because of the Retina display and probably the battery. And of course the cost, it's about $100 more for the base 16 gigabyte model over this new iPad mini with Retina display. And for those that are wondering, is the difference worth the $100? I can assure you that for a mere $100, you're getting a screen that's twice the resolution and a processor that's at least 2 times, if not 3 times more powerful than Apple's former dual-core A5 chipset. So those 2 reasons alone make this new iPad mini worth every penny if you are looking for an iPad. You know, as far as connectivity goes, and the pack-ins you saw earlier in the video, it uses a 10-watt Apple USB adapter to charge the high-powered battery. Is Apple's proprietary Lightning dock connector that was introduced in 2012. So I mean hasn't changed in the slightest bit. Rumor has it that the glass that's used on the front of the iPad mini is sort of the next generation sort of Corning Gorilla Glass or whatever equivalent it is, with that sort of oil and smear free oleophobic coating. To be honest with you, I can't tell the difference between the former iPad mini and the new iPad, unless I could turn it on and actually see that the text, for example, is ultra fine. Otherwise, these two, like the former and the current model, physically is basically identical. So I hope you found this video useful and informative. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for future product unboxing videos. Thanks for watching.